Good. All right, so we've got the thing started. What we're going to do is this is a live video. Usually Mondays and Thursdays I go live to answer questions for free, but with that said, it is super ultra late. It is 2:28 a.m. in the morning. Absolutely ridiculously early. I don't know if we'll have any callers tonight when it comes to doing the show, but the basic thing that you have to kind of keep in mind is that there's some basic rules. You get 5 to 7 minutes on the call, no stacking of questions, use a fake name when you call in. We can't give you detailed legal information because bottom line is I don't have your file in front of me. And bottom line is this, you really have to give me more detail to really rely on the full, what you should do, what your path is, etc. If you need more than just the 5-7 minutes, there's a mini contract for an hour below where you can basically get my lunch hour and we'll talk during it and figure out what a solution is. With that said, the phone number to call in is 407-279-1754. And remember, when you call in, use a fake name, no story mode. Oh my goodness, no story mode. My last video was way too much story mode, but again, it's super late, so we're going through my emotional roller coaster as well as to what I go through. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone line right now. I know that when you guys get right on this video, it's usually a little bit behind. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And let me see if there's any questions in here while this thing is waiting. We might not have anybody call in because it's just it's like 2:29 a.m. It's now January 31st. So let's take a look real quick. And remember, we're only going to be doing this video for 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So if you're watching this video at a different time, it may be outside of the 30 minutes. But let me go ahead and check real quick and see what we got going on here. And keep in mind, the reason I'm so late, cameraman with the 99-cent donation, super appreciate it. That's awesome. Let's see. We can all call Walter. All right, here we go. Here's the first caller. All right, we are putting it on speakerphone. There we go. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Hello?
Howdy, Madame. Attorney Walter Hnot. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Linda.
Howdy.
Hi, and I got a question. So if I had a CDR done in it, how long is it like the next time I normally do that again?
So it's either like a 12-month to 24-month thing, or it's like a 3-year-ish thing, or it's like a 5 to 7 years thing, or they just won't touch it because they don't think you're that, or they don't think you're over recover and you're like extreme. So it depends on your impairments. You're going to fit into 3 main categories. So how often have you been receiving CDRs?
So in 2016 is when I filed, and I think I got approved in 2020.
Okay.
So I've only had one so far, and I just got an approval a couple months.
All right, so you're in like the last category, where it's like the 5 to 7 years kind of gig. So bottom line is, you will probably see one in 5 to 7 years, unless something in your medical record comes up where they buy your medical records in between a period in there. Because now they have AI scanning medical records from people. So they'll have their computer system purchase medical records come in, they have AI search for terms and phrases showing improvement. So if they find improvement, they might do it before then. But if you continue to build your claim, you do a little upkeep on your medical evidence, then you should be okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I go to the doctor like twice for chiropractic, whatever, every month.
Sure.
That should be plenty, right?
I mean, a chiropractor? I mean...
Well, because I have like I have to do because it screws my...
keep in mind, like, chiropractors don't have a lot of weight in hearing senses. So, a doctor specific for the musculoskeletal issue at hand, yada, yada, that's like a postdoctorate specialty,
Yeah, I see my regular physician at least 2 to 3 times a year.
Is that your PCP or a specialist?
Primary.
Yeah, you're going to want to get a specialist on there, because remember, when the judge sends you as part of a CDR in the future for review, because remember, every 5 to 7 years, the program becomes less and less and less liberal, even though they have to use the original rules that, they use to find you disabled. Still, the culture of the SSA is becoming more closed off and denying more people. So, and the big thing that they've been doing over the past couple of years has actually been not approving, users and abusers, but each category gets their little, 3 to 4 year period. But you got to keep in mind, a chiropractor in and of itself, they are like therapists. They tend to write into medical notation that, basically, they're doing this and this is working and this is great. And they're noticing this improvement. You got to be careful with chiropractors because they're like therapists. They're always trying to write in how they're doing a good deed, and they don't write in all the things showing essentially how you're, not really improving much. So, have you read your chiropractor's records or no?
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah,
are
I
the,
have. And actually,
yeah,
well, because he's been treating me since when this started. So
sure.
between him and I actually do go to physical too.
Okay, cool.
Other things
Good.
besides that. So yeah, I probably $10,000 to $12,000 a month every year.
Sure,
Right
sure.
up with it. Yeah. Okay, well I appreciate your help. I was just curious.
One thing to think
I
about,
appreciate it.
yeah, is when the last time you saw a specialist for that was, and when the last time you had, basically, some sort of MRI done of the area. So, like, let me ask you this: when did you last have an MRI of the area?
Mm, probably a year and a half ago.
That's not bad. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. Okay, when was the last time you had a
No,
specialist, working on it?
about the same time.
That's not bad.
Time.
That's not bad. But you're due.
Yeah, the type of break that I have is like totally off my spine, off my coccyx, so it really
Mhm.
screws me up. So it's not something I can fix.
Oh, but
I
that
went to actually a
yeah.
specialist over in Jersey too. Had
Okay.
another guy give me.
So let me ask you this from a legal perspective, not a medical one. Let's say that it's not something that's really going to get better, right? Because it's just not. What should you have in the record anyways over the timeline of last review to the next review they're going to do that will bolster the likelihood that you won't even have a review in the future. They'll just stamp it and send it forward.
Well, I'm assuming I need to go see my original my final doctor again and just have him review, just review what I have, right?
The kicker is
I don't
this.
know.
Yeah, if you go and basically have repetitive documentation showing severity that's not getting better, then you're going to go through less of a CDR or you're not going to have any experience with the CDR. So what some people get is they'll say, "Hey, we're going to begin the review," right? They'll send out the base form. They'll send it in and then they get a letter back saying, "Thanks, we're done. Bye." Some people, they got to go to their doctors. Some people, they have to fill out additional forms. Some people, it's a whole big harangue. The more upkeep you do of the things that they're looking for, even if it's not, because remember, you're coming from the standpoint of, well, it's not going to get better, so it's not going to change. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's, you never know. You know what I mean? They're always coming out with new medical stuff. But the point is, you still have to provide a timeline of point A, point B, point C, because then it makes it easier for them to just keep giving you the money. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Yeah.
the information a lot.
Perfect. You have
And
a, yeah.
thanks for what you do for everybody. I appreciate it too.
Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thanks what you do.
You have a wonderful
All
night.
right.
Yeah.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. We had a person calling a couple of times. Let me see if I can get them on the phone real quick. Hold on. Here we go. Speaker is on. Let's see if we can get this person on the phone real quick. That's the first ring.
To your wireless?
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Oh, geez. Hold on. All right. Let me see if I can get this person. Well, anyways, the phone line's open because when I see that, I'm always worried that their voicemail is going to like say their name. That one didn't, but you never know. It's, this is the voicemail of blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh. But anyways, phone line is open. Let me see if there's some questions in here that I can answer. Where does heavy metal poisoning fall under impairments? So that's like your toxic torty kind of stuff. That's usually falling into immune system because the immune system is attacking the body because the body has heavy metals in it. That's usually falling into that kind of arena. Although you can have musculoskeletal limitations, you can have respiratory limitations, you can have all that stuff. I just missed a call. Hold on, let me see if I can call them back real quick and get them on the speaker. Hold on. Let me see if I can get them on the phone. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this person on the phone real quick. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember, it's a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Hi, Walter. This is Ryan. Anyway, I got SSDI about 4 years ago.
Okay.
And I'm 65. And I'd like to go back and work for a while as a substitute school teacher.
Okay.
Will I speed things up by trying to do that?
I mean, remember, you got your 9-month trial work period, you got your 3-month extended eligibility period, you got your ticket to work program, so you got your on ramp to work. But remember, are we talking full time? Or are we talking like you're earning like $1,000? What are we talking per month that you're going to be earning?
Probably about $1,200.
Now, is that going to creep up to $2,000? Like, where is that going to go?
No, I'm going to stay as a substitute teacher,
Okay.
and it's not very much in the state that I'm in.
Okay. So in that situation, you should be okay, should be fine. But just remember, you got to go look at what the triggering amount is for that 9-month trial work period, because, you could be triggering those months with very low amount and not using them to your full advantage. So if it were me, I would say to you, go study what triggering months for the 9-month trial work period are, because you want to stay a little bit under that so that you don't use those and you can retain them in case you have a really big month coming with a big payday.
Okay.
Perfect. Sounds
Right.
good.
Thank
Excellent,
you.
good sir. You have a wonderful night.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I want to try and call back that other person who called in a couple of times. Let me see if I can get him on the phone real quick. Hold on. Let me get this boop, boop. The buttons are so tiny and the phone is wiggling. Boop. I almost got. Oh, I didn't get it. Hold on. Let me get some precision here. Boop, boop. There we go. We're good. We got precision now. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can do this thing. Let's get this
Welcome
person.
to your wireless carrier's voicemail system. Your call has been forwarded to.
Oh God, it's gonna say the name. It's gonna say the name of the person. I can't. That's the problem with those. It's gonna say the name. All right, so let's see if there's any more questions in here from people. How long can a warrant be active to investigate a person for been 6 months and no response from FIOA? I mean, that's a crim law question, but here we go. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, howdy, madam. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Hi. I'm wondering, am I in any danger of getting CDR?
Well, I mean, it depends on your impairments. What's the current age?
62?
When was the last time you had a CDR?
I've never had one ever.
How long ago were you found disabled?
2000?
Yeah, so that's 25 years ago. The rules were so super liberal back then that they don't like to do a lot of CDRs for those individuals because, when they have to review them, they have to review them by the rules put in place back way, 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 way back then when they were originally found disabled. So the likelihood of getting a CDR is very low for you. It doesn't mean that they won't do one. They can look at the medical records, but like what is your like FE? What are like the top two impairments?
The only I got several impairments, but the only thing that I'm on disability for is my asthma. That's it.
Okay, so with your asthma, like walk me through like what are the numbers that show limitation? Like where are you at with that?
What do you mean?
Well, because they do tests to see like capacity with asthma, things like that. So what are your capacity with basically taking air and yada yada?
Well, I'm limited what I can do. I mean, I can't walk I get sick of breath really. I can't run. I can't walk very far. I can't do long walking.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm just very limited in what I can do. I mean, it doesn't take anything for me to short of breath.
But as somebody who's been on it for 25 years, like what are like your FEV numbers? Like
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you what those are.
okay. So to clarify, you've been on it for 25 years. The listing level criteria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been asthmatic all my life since I was a baby.
Okay. So what you want to go learn about is like if you type into Google SSA listings 3.03 asthma, and you want to go look at that chart. It's an FEV chart. And you want to see based off of basically your height and your age and your gender what the FEV number would be. Because that's basically what's going to dictate if you have an improvement there, the SSA is going to take a look at you in the future. But that's the main thing. You know, as somebody who's been on it for 25 years, you want to learn what your FEV number is for your asthma.
Oh, okay. Would you?
SSA.
You know what? I need to write that down because my memory isn't going to remember all that stuff.
Yeah, sure, no
Can
worries.
I write it down real quick?
Yep. So it's SSA listings.
Oh, 1 second. Oh,
Okay,
I'm not that.
sure.
Okay, what is it now?
SSA listings 3.03. SSA listings 3.03.
SSA
Yep.
listing?
Yep, listings 3.03.
Oh, listing.
Yep.
Okay. 3.03.
Perfect. And then
Uh-huh.
you're going to look that up on Google, and then you want to know what your FEV number is going to be.
What would you say? Google and then what?
Yeah, well, you look it up. You just find the Google page, the SSA.gov website, and then from there you scroll down to 3.03 on the listing chart, and that'll have your FEV analysis chart for asthma. Yeah.
FEV?
FEV. F is in Frank, E is in
Oh,
Edward, V is in
okay.
Victoria. Yeah. Or Victor.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
I
Perfect.
gotcha. Okay, I'll have to look that up and see. I don't know. I just know that I'm a severe asthmatic. I have been all my life pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I would
I'm a mess.
learn that because that's like that's the rule that they use for your claim. Yeah.
I take all kind of medication.
Perfect. But go learn that rule because remember that's your benchmark. You go above that benchmark, all of a sudden they've got evidence against you.
You don't think that I'll get a CDR or anything like that? Because I've never had one in the years that I've been on disability.
I don't have your
I've
record.
never had anything. They've never sent. I haven't gotten a letter of any kind from at all.
So I don't have your record in front of me, and I don't have your FEV number as to on the
No, I know you
timeline.
don't, but
So
I'm
like
just
I
saying, I've
can't.
never had anything.
Yeah, I can't tell you whether they will or won't, but you know, you're a low likelihood. You're over 60. You're 25 years in the past of approval, and you know, so in that regard, it's just unlikely. But again, they are coming out with new rules every week. You know,
Yeah, no, they're always changing stuff.
it used to
I
be
guess I just
where the rules would change like every 6 months to 2 years. Now it's like every month there's 3 or 4 major changes. Mhm.
because I hear you talk, you know, and it makes me nervous because if I lose my disability, then I don't know what I'm going to all I have.
I mean, I
So
yeah, I mean, I can't.
if Social Security crash, Social Security disability, you know, gets to where they disability can't pay all of it. I'm
Well, your job is to stay on disability benefits until you hit 67. That's your job.
I got 5 years. I hit,
That's your job right there.
so you know, I listen to you and it makes me nervous because I don't know what else I don't know what I would do.
Well, the first thing you got to do is go look up that FEV number and then ask your doctors what is your FEV number, because that's going to dictate, you know, listing level criteria. So that's important.
What did you say? That'll tell me. What does that say?
That is your listing level. Whether or not you meet the listing level requirements for asthma to be found disabled. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Perfect.
I know when I know that you know it was a long time back and a lot easier on disability and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Way easier.
So I had asthma really bad back then. That I was in the hospital all the time. I practically was in the hospital. So
Are you in the hospital all the time nowadays or no?
no,
Okay,
not
so
now.
that's something to
But
consider, you know.
But I have been in the hospital. I mean, I've been in the hospital many times, but not like I was back then. I mean, I was in the hospital. I'd be in the hospital like 3 times a month.
But you're not
Every
anymore.
month. No, not anymore. But every time I do go to the hospital, though, I automatically get admitted. I was in the hospital back then. So there, that they got to where the hospital staff knew who I was because I was in there so much.
So let me ask you this. How many times have you been in the hospital over the past 2 years?
Past 2 years, I haven't been in the hospital at all.
All right.
That
So,
doesn't mean my asthma hasn't bothered me. My asthma hasn't
well,
bothered me.
but remember, that's
Bothered me to
not,
go to the hospital.
yeah, that, you know what I mean? Because you're creating statements, you're creating evidence that you're not as severe as you used to be. That's the
I
kind
know
of
that,
that's the
but
kind of stuff on the
you know,
record that would kill a claim. So you just need to be a little careful with that. Yeah.
I know, but so to have an asthma attack that bad to where you have to go to the hospital, that's scary. Because an asthma attack, all it would take is one asthma attack to kill me.
No, I understand, but the point is, like, you were in the hospital all the time 25 years ago when you were found disabled. Now you haven't been there for 2 years, which means you're
Uh-uh.
stabilized on medication. So the question becomes, can this lady go back to work now that she's stabilized? You know what I mean? You
Yeah, I
kind of,
know.
yeah. So
But the thing is, I probably could, but what worries me still, Walter, is my asthma hasn't bothered me like it should, which I'm glad. But
yeah,
the same token, what worries me though is if I were to go back to work, my asthma were to start bothering me again like it did,
yeah.
so then I'm afraid that, then I'm afraid that I wouldn't be able to get back on. And what
It is a
I'm trying to
tricky
say.
situation, but I would just be very careful and I would review what your current doctors are saying to make sure that they understand the severity of your impairments at home. But just to clarify, if you did go to the hospital a lot way back in the day, but no longer need it, that is what they're looking for to do a review. So just be careful with that.
It hasn't way back. I mean, it's only been back in 2017. Back in 2017 up to 2010, I think
Okay.
2017. 2017, I moved here. I
When
was going to the hospital a lot,
wh-
and then
when was the last time you went to the hospital for it?
about 3 years ago,
Okay. And then the time before that?
time before that, I don't remember the time before that.
So it was a long time.
I know when 2017 I went several times.
Okay. Now, just to be clear, if you were to apply nowadays, you know what I mean? It would be a different outcome. You know what I mean? But just be vigilant and, make sure you go to your doctors and explain to them the difficulties you have at home, how certain activities ramp up the limitations you have as a result of asthma. Because,
Uh-huh.
because if this were like a nowadays thing, the outcome would be likely a denial. So, just realistically,
Right.
just be aware of that. Study up on 3.03. But I'm going to take the next caller. But you have a wonderful night, okay? Yeah,
Walter, thank you for talking. I appreciate
absolutely. I'll catch you later. You have a wonderful night. Thank
it.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Okay, we're gonna take one more caller, and then I gotta go to bed because it's almost 3. It's almost 3 a.m. Let me see if this person, he's called a zillion times, but it's always when I'm on the phone. I'm gonna try and call this. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's gonna work. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. What is your fake name and what is your legal question? Go ahead.
Hello.
Howdy, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. What's your legal question?
I'm calling in regards to my daughter is 30 years old and is
Mhm.
considered in court an incapacitated person due to her disabilities.
Okay.
She's disabled since she was 2.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering, she's on SSI now. Is there any other thing I need to do to secure her assistance for during her life?
Are either of her parents disabled, retired, or not alive?
Her father is MIA. I'm her mother. I'm 54 and was diagnosed with hereditary spastic paraplegia in 2017. I'm now paralyzed from the
Okay.
waist down.
Is the daughter on disabled adult child benefits? Was the daughter disabled between 18 and 22 when she was 18 to 22?
She was diagnosed with as an incapacitated person. She turned 18. I had to go to the courts and file for to be her guardian.
So you want to file basically Title II DAC benefits for her.
Ooh, January has been short-term memory. I'm going to try to remember.
Yeah.
Can you please one more time?
So I'm trying to, let me find the PDF real quick for you. That way, you know, it's a pull from Google.
I try to make it simple and quick so other people can try to get answers.
Let's see. I'm just trying to see. This is the last call, but let me see what we got. I'm trying to find the specific form for it. Yeah, here it is. She's going to file an SSA-4-BK, again, an SSA-4-PK application for child insurance benefits, because she's got to prove between 18 and 22 that she was disabled. One of her parents is on disability benefits, so she can tap essentially into her Title II DACs, which will increase her amount that she receives on top of the SSI benefits that she's currently receiving.
That was Title II.
Yeah, Title II DAC benefits. And basically, the form is SSA-4-BK. SSA-4-BK.
4-
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you so very much.
Absolutely. You have a wonderful, wonderful night. I'm going to go to bed because I'm super tired, but I will catch you later. You have a wonderful night.
I'll keep watching. Thank you so much. You're great.
Absolutely, madam. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, perfect. So everybody, I'm starting to fall asleep. I don't know if you can tell, but my head's kind of like, I am probably not going to start work until around 10 tomorrow. Just to be super. So if you call the firm, you're probably not going to get me until around 10. You have a wonderful, wonderful night. I'm really surprised we even had callers this late. That's absolutely amazing. That means we've got a lot of night owls that are disabled, which is always cool. Anyways, I will catch you a little bit later. You have a wonderful night. Please remember to like and subscribe. Head over to Google and type in Disability Resolution Law Firm. So if I helped you out tonight, consider putting some stars up there. Disability Resolution Law Firm, Disability Resolution Florida. Also, Mondays and Thursdays I try to go live, but I'm experimenting with the days and the times right now. And also, if you need me for a full hour, private session mini contract is below. So we're coming out with a new little mini contract as well. But private, session is below. I will catch you a little bit later. You have a wonderful, wonderful night, and we'll go from there. And thank you so much, and sleep well. All right, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.